the Filmspeak podcast. My name is Dave.
My name's Amanda,
And my name is Adam.
and this is our weekly conversation about movies.
So how was everyone's week?
My week's alright. My birthday was last weekend, and that was a thing.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It was an event.
Yeah, it was.
Weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, I wanted people to come, so I was like,
boogie in with the B-Day girl.
yeah, I was like, come boogie. And then I, casually blacked out, and
as you do.
yeah.
One does.
And then, yeah, and now I'm, like, back in, like, school and, like, living my life and not drinking that much at all.
That's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish I remembered, like, the last 2 hours, though.
Yeah. You were playing Roll for It. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
You were like, what?
I was like, I distinctly remember being like, I'm losing my ass off right now.
Yeah, it was bad. But I mean, it was,
I had no idea.
You hung in there.
Yeah, I was destroyed. There was a night, there was a time in the night where I had a gin martini in one hand and a vodka cranberry in the other one, and I was just taking sips off of both of them. So, like, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah. One of those nights.
Yeah, it was fun, though. I was very hungover on Saturday.
Happy birthday, by the way. I said happy birthday, by the way. I don't think I actually said it, like, in person.
Oh, I think you did, but thank you again. I had a pretty much like a 3-day celebration for myself, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But how was your guys' week?
My week was good. Just been watching like a buttload of sports and chilling. Really, that's about it.
That's cool.
I've been doing pretty much the same. Just haven't really been doing much. Watching a lot of baseball and reading comics.
This is like my favorite time of year because like the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs just started, and like the first round is whatever kind of in both of those, but it's like the best time of year when there's like 4 fucking hockey games like a day on. It feels like. And they're all, like, so intense, and every series is good, no matter, like, what the actual, like, records are, like, the games are still, like, interesting to watch.
Right.
So, I've been, like, trying to catch, like, everything I possibly can, because it rules.
Cool.
But the Caps are going to blow it again. They're already down, like, 2-1 in their series.
I mean, that's kind of their MO, isn't it?
Yep. But this is their, like, super team, and if they don't do it, it's going to be pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But it's a tough thing to do. I mean, also, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it.
Everybody would have a cup.
Everybody. Skating around.
And then the opposite would be like, how bad you could be. Oh shit, I'm watching currently TV, and I'm watching the Alien trailer for the first time. Have you guys seen this?
I think I have.
I'm like watching it in real time, and holy shit, it looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it does.
It feels very like old school xenomorph, like banging his head, sticking his tongue out. Sorry. It's on to like a Coors Light commercial now, and I'm going to turn my TV off, but
good idea.
That was cool. I hadn't seen it. But yeah, other than that, my week was pretty normal.
Nice.
Waiting for the Warriors to like whoop that ass. They look pretty good in the first game. And I'm rooting for the O's. That's about it.
Did you guys watch any good movies or TV shows?
You go ahead first, Dave.
Okay. I watched Monsters, Inc., which I'd never seen before.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it was fun. I like Steve Buscemi as the bad guy. That was pretty good casting, voice-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And John Goodman is always awesome at with his voice. Like, when he was doing the Burger King commercials, that guy knows about some Whoppers. That guy's, he's fucking, that made me want to eat Whoppers. Like, yeah, I trust John Goodman.
Yeah, he all he knows about being a blue furry monster, you know.
Yeah, going around scaring people. Great.
No, yeah, that is great, and you're right. Like the voice acting is cool. I don't really love Billy Crystal other than in fucking When Harry Met Sally, but like he's really good in those movies.
Yeah, I mean he's really good. Like back in the old Saturday Night Live, you know, that's what I remember him from. So I mean, yeah, I kind of have a soft spot for him. But yeah, he did a good job too, of course.
Yeah.
So.
You should see the second one is also like really good. When they go to college.
It's something I need to see, like Monster University or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it sort of feels like how all those sequels are, where it's like, was that really necessary?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a good enough like different version of the story. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen it one time, but I would recommend it.
Cool. And I also watched Swiss Army Man, which, Amanda, did you watch it yet?
No.
No? Alright, then I don't want to talk too much about it. But, you know, it was an okay movie. There were some things that I liked about it, and there were some things that I thought was just kind of like, meh. Yeah, I figured you should probably watch it, check it out, decide for yourself. But yeah, those were the other two movies that I watched.
I liked Swiss Army Man a lot. But yeah, without really saying too much, like, the end, I don't know, like, I like where it went, basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it does feel like a little too fucking beat a dead horse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about you, Amanda?
Ooh, okay, I have a few things.
Cheetah Girls 3, go to Paris.
No, I don't think there is a Cheetah Girls 3. Otherwise, I would have watched it by now.
2018.
That'd be sweet. I would watch it. But, I watched the series finale of Girls. And, yeah. It was I really don't know what I expected. Because I, didn't realize it would be, pretty much like a Hannah solo episode featuring Marnie. I didn't realize that, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that being, the series finale, focused on those two.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I also was, fully expecting to be, crying my ass off. And, I didn't get as emo as I thought I would. I definitely want to rewatch it as soon as possible, though. Other than that, Dave inspired me to rewatch Planet Terror. I won't go super into it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I won't go super into it since you guys talked about it last week, but I really love that movie. It's a really, really fun movie. And then also I remember the first time I saw it, I was I think I was 13 and it had just come out and I was visiting my cousin in New York and we pulled an all-nighter and we watched the Grindhouse movies and then after that at 4 a.m. we watched the South Park movie and it's just we pulled an all-nighter and that's a memory I have from when I was younger, so I just I've always really liked that movie. But yeah, it was really fun. And then I rewatched 10 Things I Hate About You on my 22nd birthday and I love that movie and never gets old.
Yeah, that's a perfect fucking movie.
Oh yeah, it's been 10 years and I'm still sad about Heath Ledger. Oh
yeah.
Man, I fucking love that guy. They released a trailer for a Heath Ledger documentary and I kind of can't believe it's happening because that's when I realized that it had actually been 10 years since that happened.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Also, that same day, I watched 2 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, and they were both just so fucking funny.
Yeah, that shit's great.
I fucking love that show. It had been a while since I've watched it. And then on Saturday night, I had a few friends over and we rewatched Spy Kids. And it was really fun. I had 4 beers, so I was really into it. And then
two Robert Rodriguez movies in your life.
I know, crazy. And then I don't know, that movie is a real treat.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. I remember...
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was
God, it was so fucking cool. Like, I just remember watching it and I was just like, wow, I wish I was those kids. But, that's about it on my end.
Word.
Adam, what'd you watch?
Couple things, but I would just want to speak on the girls' finale. I personally thought it was like, after a little bit of time thinking it over, like, I think it's a really, like, perfect way to end that show because it's different than any other, like, episode really I can think of, and it's because, like, Hannah is now, you know, essentially, like, she's trapped in this house at this moment with this child that she had, like, that's the decisions she had, or, like, that happened, and she made the decision to, like, keep it, and you know, so it's like it's literally her just like living with her, like starting to realize she's got to live with her choices, and it's not, you know, it's real life now. And I don't know, I thought it was great. Like it's a weird culture shock that is the ending of Girls because it doesn't feel like a Girls episode. It feels like a fucking drama about a woman who, you know, is like having trouble like coping with the fact that like she's like in control of another life. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, you know, the whole, like, Marnie angle, like, that's important for those characters, I think, more than I want to give credit to. But it's also, like, that could have been done earlier in the series, like, in the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so, too.
It's a little bit of both. Like, the give and take of it for me, I'm like, it's sort of, like, this, like, uniquely, like, perfect thing. But at the same time, I wish it was different. In the sense of, like, some of these things could have been a little, like, tackled a little more throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? Or,
yeah.
Like, just the fact that Marnie is, like, with that fucking guy, Desi, for, like, 4 fucking seasons, and then, like, the last, like, time we're ever going to see Marnie is, like, when she's, like, jerking off, like, over FaceTime. It just feels so, like, I'm like, where was that Marnie before? But then again, I guess maybe that's, like, the point. But I thought it was good. And I fucking definitely cried, like, at the very end of the scene. Or, like, like right when the credits rolled, it finally got me because it was like, oh my god, it's, like, the most, like, beautiful, like, human moment. Just, like, the silence. And then, like, her just, like breastfeeding her kid for the first time. It's just, like, holy shit. I loved it.
I, like, agree with everything that you said, but I think it's just, like, a personal thing where I just, like, I never really related to Marnie or like cared about, or not, I wouldn't say cared about Marnie, but like pretty much everything she did in the show was like really aggravating to me. So it was like having like a hyper focus on her, like especially in like the series finale, I was just like, ugh, like I'm like over it. And then I don't know, it's like it was a really big, like you said, like culture shock and like slap in the face for Hannah because she, like you said, she has to like live in her new reality. I agree with that, but I don't know. It was just,
Yeah.
it was like a very odd like misadventure where like oh I had a kid and now I'm like walking down a street like without pants on. Like, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, girl,
Yeah.
go inside.
No, definitely, because, like, you know, in my mind, I had already forgotten about that scene because it's, like, it's not really like, it sort of is the point of the show where she's, like, you know, she's got no pants on, she's, like, talking to those, like, other fucking girls about how they should, like, go home or whatever, and it's, like, I don't know, like, that is, like, what Girls is about, but at the same time, like, my version of Girls just doesn't involve all that, like, sort of, like, weird Hannah shit all the time, you know? Or, like, the, like, annoying Marnie shit. Like, basically, I've, like, hated a lot of these characters throughout this show, like, at different points where I'm like, they're so fucking annoying, but that is the point, you know? And, like, they, like, reeled it back in well enough this season where I was like, okay, like, I actually fucking love these people. And then when they're all, like, in their, like, at that party in the, like, episode before this, like, you know, the, like, goodbye tour episode, like, dancing, I was like, oh my god, I'm, like, crying because I fucking, like, love these people, and, you know, like, I get it, and then, like, then the last episode is something just totally different, and it, like, takes Marnie for Hannah to realize that she, like, needs help, you know, and there's it's smart, I'll say, but I definitely have, like, issue with it still. But it's more just, like, different talking points. Like, I want to see how, like, I like to have a conversation, like, deep conversation about this further, honestly, with like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like different people throughout my life who also experienced that finale, because it was like way different than anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
Like in the series, I loved it. But yeah, real quick, watched a couple movies. James Mangold's Copland, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, dude. Stallone, fucking Harvey Keitel. Who's the other guy? De Niro is not like John Hurt, but isn't like the fucking like the Chrome guy from T2. Like, isn't he in the movie?
Oh yeah, Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick, and like Peter Berg.
Ray Liotta.
Basically, it's like Ray Liotta. Fuck, the cast is crazy. But basically, it's about like a small time sheriff in New Jersey, which is like a part of New Jersey. It's like directly across from the city, and all these city cops like moved into this part of town so they can, I guess, like get their own like dirty shit, like keep that under wraps, basically. And there's like a bunch of like dirty cops that live like right across the water in Jersey, and Stallone, it's like under his nose, but he kind of can't do anything about it. And I don't know, it's really interesting. I really liked it, and they definitely, the funny thing about it is they make New Jersey seem like it's this like mythical, fucking like beautiful place because it like looks really good. I don't know if you remember like the scenes like in the fog, like in the woods. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the wood scenes.
Yeah, there's like a couple of them. Like, oh my god, this feels like it's like, I don't know, not in New Jersey. Like you're in like just like somewhere that's actually pretty, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's funny. But yeah, I really liked it. I would recommend that movie. Stallone with like one of the most like subdued performances of all time.
Because he's so out of shape too.
Yeah, he's like a schlubby, like half deaf guy. So he basically is always just like staring at people and like not saying much and just kind of like making like noises, you know, like it's so funny. But yeah, that was a really good time. And James Mangold, the only reason I brought him up is because he just directed Logan, which people really liked this year. And that guy's got an interesting eye. His movies like look good, so he's somebody to maybe keep an eye on. I watched Joe Swanberg's new movie that him and Jake Johnson wrote, and it's like a new Netflix jam called Win It All. It's about a guy who's like addicted to gambling, and basically he's like trying to constantly like get his life in order, and he's at like a particular moment where he just got a job with his like little brother, who is, you know, in like reality like the big man, and he like owns like a business and shit, and like a landscaping business. So basically he gets a job with him, and then like at the same time some other business proposition, kinda like a legal business proposition, comes in his hand, and basically he's holding a bunch of money for just someone. And of course, like, you know, it's what the fuck does a gambler do with a bunch of money?
Right.
No. It was actually like really good because it never got jokey, you know, and like it actually plays the gambling thing like really hard, and you like feel bad for Jake Johnson because he's like a fucking addicted to gambling person, you know, like you like, it's like watching like fucking like an alcoholic or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, it was like just as effective, but I really liked it. You guys should check that out. It's like really short too. And Joe Swanberg is somebody that I think you guys would also like, but you don't really, I don't know, maybe like you have seen some of the stuff you didn't realize or whatever, but he's an interesting guy, and he's like started in like the whole like mumblecore thing, but he's kind of like evolved into making some of the best just like straight up like human, like still like drama stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good. He always keeps it really simple. And then I watched Election for the first time. Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
Ooh, I'll keep it short.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon and fucking Chris Pine from like American Pie series. Dude, it is hilarious. Like, fucking hilarious. I won't talk about it too much, but we should definitely watch that one on the pod here, because it's like surprisingly like starkly like, oh my god, like I can't believe like Matthew Broderick Kubrick is acting this way type of thing, you know. And I don't know. It's like it's Alexander Payne who wrote like Nebraska and like directed Nebraska and like Sideways and shit. So and like The Descendants. So his movies are like always like adult, but this was like an MTV like production back in the day, and it just like feels like raunchy, but like tastefully raunchy and like hilariously like purposefully raunchy kind of at times. And it's like sort of crude, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I can't believe what like the story goes there, you know. But it's really good. It feels like it's its own thing, sort of. I liked it a lot. I was surprised by it. And the last movie I want to talk about is The Long Good Friday. Have you guys ever heard of this?
I've never seen it, but I know the name.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard of it.
Gotcha. It's all good. Yeah, it's from, I think, like 1980, and it's got, like, Bob Hoskins, who was, like, Super Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is fucking hilarious, and Helen Mirren, and, like, a very young Pierce Brosnan, like a very young, dashing, handsome-ass Pierce Brosnan, but it's so fucking good. Like, I was, like, blown away by this movie. It's like a gangster movie, but almost like, I don't know, it's like a whodunit, but basically, like, okay, so basically, Bob Hoskins plays, like, a crime boss who's, like, just now getting to be, like, a little, like, flashy, and he's, like, you know, like, he's, like, hosting some, like, people from, like gangsters from, like, a different country, and, like, you know, they're, like, partying and being ritzy, but then all of a sudden, like, his men just start dying in, like, brutal fucking ways. Basically, you know, they're, like, he pulls up to a building blows up. It's, like, basically, like, shit is happening, like, a step in front of him this whole movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, I don't know, it's really, like, I was, like, really fucking impressed by it. I loved it. And it had me, like, on the edge of my seat, basically until, like, the end. But yeah, it's really fucking good. We should also watch that one too eventually. But yeah, I can't recommend that movie enough. Like, everybody should seek that out, because it feels like, it doesn't feel like, you know, gangster like films like we know. You know what I mean? Like, they're, I don't know. It's English, so it's like, I don't know. They're more like proper, sort of. But then at the same time, they're just as fucking ruthless. And this movie's like devastatingly, like, gory and, like, fucking just brutal at times. Like, it's wild. There's, like, a meat locker scene that's, like really fucking intense. But yeah, we should definitely check that movie out.
Cool.
But everyone go watch that. The Long Good Friday. What else did we all watch?
No Country for Old Men.
Yo. All right. Your first time, Dave?
Yeah, this is the first time I've watched it.
Amanda, your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time, but I watched it like a few days ago.
All right, well, I'm going to let you guys do the little talking first, because I just talked for like a while.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so as I said, it's my first time watching this. I had been meaning to see it for a while now. For some reason, because, okay, so I always had this thing for the past few years where, like, I would always just mix this movie up with There Will Be Blood. And I, like, looked up both of them tonight and realized that they came out in the same year, in 2007. And I think that's, like, why I always mixed them up, because I hadn't seen either of them. So it was just always this, like, weird thing where I thought they were, like, the same movie. But
yeah, I hadn't seen it either.
Really?
And it was a movie that I knew that I would eventually watch. I owned it on DVD and didn't watch that, and then I traded that in and got it on Blu-ray and hadn't watched that until now too. So that's usually how I watch my Blu-rays and DVDs. I own them for years, and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I want to watch it out of nowhere. And I ambush that.
You guys are wild. This one, just like, I saw this movie, I don't even remember, like, it was like before it was on I honestly think we like rented it on cable. Like, I was like really excited to see this movie right when I like heard about it and stuff. And damn, I love this movie. Like, I've seen it probably like 30 fucking times, honestly, because I've showed it to like everyone I know, and like, yeah, I've watched it like a bunch of times by myself. Like, I fucking love this thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I will definitely watch it again at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like,
it's
like
really good.
Begs for rewatching. So basic premise: guy comes across like a situation in the desert that he maybe shouldn't have seen, whatever, just like a random dude like out hunting one day. He stumbles across a bunch of money. Money belongs to like one of the most insane fucking villains like in the history of film.
Yeah.
Basically. And it's basically like a game of cat and mouse from there. Because like dude with the money is like, I'm gonna step up and play your game. And he's like, okay, friendo. Well, I'm going to, like, cattle fucking prod people to death. All up and down Texas.
Yeah.
For no reason other than he wants their car. He just kills indiscriminately. And
yeah,
he changes cars a lot.
He's so fucking peculiar. Well, yeah, because, like, that's the first thing they notice. Like Tommy Lee Jones, like, okay, well, he, you know, here's like a run of 5 cars in a row that he switched, but he's just killed all these fucking people, like, to get them, you know?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, but at the same time, he's, like, so menacing because, like, you never know when he actually is gonna kill. You know, I feel like every time there's a vehicle involved, we as a viewer know, but then, like, you know, when he's, like, at the gas station, he makes the guy, like, flip the coin. That's one of the most, like, intense scenes in the movie. And he doesn't kill anybody. You know, he doesn't kill the dude, but it's all because of chance, you know what I mean? Which is, like, the big thing in this movie.
If you look at him, he's kind of, like, verbally circling them, just kind of like, you know, he's asking just peculiar questions. And just kind of, I guess, trying to see where they are and, like, are they afraid? You know, do they realize they're going to die or something like that? And he has, like, probably kind of like this mental checklist of how he's going to approach each thing. And I mean, he knows he's probably going to end up killing them. But with certain people, I think...
Yeah, what, like his like moral thing is odd because I don't think, unless he actually has to like kill you right off the bat to get whatever he wants, he's always willing to leave it up to chance, sort of. You know, like he isn't just killing random people if he doesn't have to.
Right. But when he knows he's going to kill people, he seems like he kind of just wants to intimidate them first and just kind of like toy with them a little bit.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, he's fucking menacing as shit.
Yeah, it's
like
also like
spend this whole thing talking about him.
It's also like all in the haircut too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that haircut's scary as fuck.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Voice too.
Yeah.
Oh God, his voice
cadence and just how low it is. He's just like
yeah, he's so
like you kind of have to like really like kind of you're drawn into him because you have to like get close to kind of hear what he's saying.
Yeah,
so that's another like physical manipulation thing that he's doing. You know, whether it's consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah.
You know, he's very manipulative and.
One of my notes is literally just Javier Bardem with a bunch of hearts.
Yeah. he's great in this movie.
Yeah, he really is.
The first movie that I really saw what he could do acting-wise, I thought he was great in Skyfall.
Oh, yeah.
The Bond villain, he was like, oh, man, this guy's a total badass.
Yeah, he's like weirdly like effeminate in that movie too, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, which is cool. Not like that's weird, but, you know, weirdly, like, he's weird about it, basically. That's what I'm saying. But, yeah, he's fucking great. I'm, like, bummed that, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of bummed that he didn't have, like, a better career after this. But I honestly just feel like, I don't know what more he could have done that I would have been, like, impressed by, basically. Because, like, this is, like, once in a lifetime fucking role, honestly. Like, this character just so fucking, like, he is like the Black Plague when he wants to be. and it's like all about like randomness with him. But then if you cross him, like he's gonna fucking track you down, no matter what. But I don't know. It's this movie's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like the whole like Josh Brolin's whole thing is like he's like the character who touches this void that is like Javier Bardem and like that weird fucking like you know the evil part of like the world basically, you know, and like the evil part of like human nature, I guess, is like more it's like the yin and the yang. Because like even when he's you know fucking talking to Woody Harrelson, he's just like I mean like whatever, like I'll just take care of it. Woody Harrelson's like I do not think you understand like what the deal is with this guy, and it's like he doesn't because we've been watching him the whole time. You know what I mean? But
right, he's just another guy with a gun. He doesn't know how proficient he is in murder.
Yeah, dude, that scene when he's like walking around when Josh Brolin's character is it Llewellyn?
Yeah. Llewellyn, yeah.
Llewellyn fucking he like moves his hotel room to the other side. Anton Chigurh is like walking around in his socks like outside so like no one would hear him walking. You know, it's like he's such like a step ahead of everyone but Josh Brolin's character kind of for a minute, and I think that's what like makes it bad. I don't know.
Right. Well, I think another thing is the reason he also goes after his wife in the end is because he wasn't the one that killed him. It was the gang that killed him. So he felt like he had to somehow extract his revenge out of this.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's like, I had to go all over, you know, tracking you down, waste my resources. So.
No, yeah, it's weird because, you know, like we're jumping ahead to like the end, but then like what happens is like okay, he goes and he either kills or doesn't kill her, but then he gets hit by a car, you know, and gets like all fucked up, and it's like he walks away from that, but does he get away from it is what you know what I'm saying? Like we as a viewer don't know. It's like open ended, but he kind of like it's all about chance and the fact that he fucking flipped the coin and went to potentially kill her. Like he went to, are they in El Paso?
No, I think they're back home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's not home at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Home is like a trailer park.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think they're like they're still
at her mom's house.
Yeah, maybe her mom's house. Probably right, but yeah, I don't know. Like if he hadn't gone there, then he could have walked away from this thing, basically. But it's all about like randomness, and that's what, like Tommy Lee Jones and like all the conversations he's having with all like old timers. Like you know, normally that kind of shit sounds like you know you just can't like accept like younger culture or like any of that kind of shit. But in this case, it's like they literally don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, nobody can understand, you know, and just think this was set in the 80s, too, so this is, you know, pre-ultra-violent movies and video games and things like that, too. So, I mean, people hadn't seen things like this in, you know, the early 80s. I mean, there were, you know, obviously, like, murderers and things like that, but on the scale that he's doing this throughout the movie, you know, you don't even know how many people he kills. You know, he's just, you know, randomly just going along.
Yeah. You know, his death toll is probably, like, insane.
I'd say probably it has to be over 20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this movie alone, but in general, like...
I mean, is he the one... Well, he couldn't have been the one that took out the gangs at the beginning because he wouldn't take the money.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, like, that is sort of confusing. So, like, he is after the money because it's his, right?
I believe so. I think, yeah, they don't really explain it too much. I think because the money and the drugs are both there. And then the next day when he comes back, the drugs are gone. Or the cops come and the drugs are gone.
Yeah, you know, it's fucking weird, too. And I almost wonder if this is just, like, randomness. But there is someone, when they first pull up, when Josh Brolin goes back and they, like, sick the dog on him, there's, like, someone who's talking that sounds like Woody Harrelson. And I never noticed that until now, and I kind of don't know if I'm, like, actually going anywhere with it, but that sort of maybe changes this whole thing if, like, Woody Harrelson is, like, sort of involved, but they don't actually, like, say it.
Yeah. I didn't notice that.
Like, he literally just sounds like Woody Harrelson. Some guy, like one of the guys he's with, makes a comment, and he sounds like Woody Harrelson does. I don't know, it's just weird because Woody Harrelson, I'm like, why would these guys just be meeting if Woody Harrelson's like an FBI agent?
Yeah, I mean, he could be deep undercover, or who knows.
Yeah. Well, but then, like, they're in the hotel, and, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know. It's very. I thought that was like a weird like wrinkle in this, and I could maybe just be like overthinking it, but I noticed it and I just wanted to bring it up. But yeah, I love this movie. I just love like the classic like Coen Brothers thing of like humans versus like human nature, kind of like, you know, it's like the tempting thing, but like if you do this, like there will be repercussions. And that character, like, immediately is going to have to deal with them, you know? Like, that's pretty much, like, in almost all of their movies. I can, like, think of a similar thing, you know, which is cool. But I really love this movie. And I really want to read this book now. I was, like, thinking about that. Watching it this time around, too. Because I read The Road a long time ago, the other Cormac McCarthy book, and that was really good. And I always wanted to read this, but I forgot about it for a long time.
Something that I had, in my notes is that I found it interesting that the last movie I watched by the Coen brothers was Fargo, and the dynamic between, I'm forgetting their names right now, but Frances McDormand's character and her husband in the movie, like the dynamic between them as a married couple versus like the dynamic between Llewellyn and Carla Jean in this movie, and how like different it is. I thought that was like pretty cool to see.
Yeah. If you keep talking, I'm gonna take you in the back and sit with you. Yeah, they're very like they like each other, but you can tell that they're like just fucking annoyed with each other. Like,
Yeah.
Constant.
It's like Llewellyn's like, I want to play cowboy, and like you go get on a fucking plane and like do whatever, you know. It's like, I don't know. You're right. Like the like that relationship is like fucking dwarfs this one basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, this movie's like really fucking like intense though. Just like so many scenes where there's no fucking music.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God, it's just like, God damn, this is like so tensious. Like,
yeah, silence can be big in movies when it's used properly, and this is one of those movies where it really, the silence is almost loud.
Yeah, it's weird too because it amplifies the like length of how I feel like how actually long the scenes are too. Like in my mind, they feel like even longer and drawn out than they actually are. But you know, it's like I guess it's because there's no talking and there's no music. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so minimal. It's cool. But yeah, I think this is like. Have you ever seen Blood Simple?
No.
Yeah, Blood Simple's really good, and sort of similar to this, like in story, if I remember correctly. But that movie's really good too. But it's just not as fun to be like spoiled by this, because this is like I mean they've made like a bunch of great movies, but I honestly think this is like their masterpiece. Like I think it's like a perfect thing from start to finish, and like I don't think anyone else could have made The Big Lebowski or, you know, fucking like Barton Fink or like some of the other weird movies they've made, but like other people could have made this movie and it would have just been like another passerby, like whatever, like pseudo like current Western, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like they just fucking like blew it out of the water. It was so fucking good. Love those guys.
Another thing about Chigurh that I find that is really cool is just like all the like survival skills that he removes a bullet and heals himself, and you know he's stealthy. He can survive out, you know, camping. He can break and enter. He knows how to do all these weapons. He tracks people. You know, he's got all these survival skills, and it's, you know, it just adds depth to like where did he get this stuff. You know, you just kind of wonder what the fuck is his origin, because he's just so like badass. And
no, definitely, like I mean he's he's like more of like a fleshed out character than like hundreds of other characters I can think of are, and he doesn't ever really fucking talk. Like, other people talk about him, you watch his actions, and like, you know, when he's like in the bathtub like fucking fixing his wound, it's like, okay, well, like, did this guy like go to fucking nursing school to learn how to like heal himself before he fucking went out and got shot? You know, it's like, or like, you know, like, when did he figure this out? Like, how is he so calm about everything he does? Like, he fucking, like...
Yeah, he never,
you know,
never shows really any emotion.
Yeah,
just kind of like
fucking, he fucking puts,
centered.
Like, he puts a rag in a car and blows it up, like, 15 feet away from it, and then just, like, goes and steals the drugs he needs. Like...
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like, he just is, like, wreaking havoc everywhere he goes. but he's so, like, unsuspecting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the fucking opening shot of this movie, like, holy shit. Where he just, like, fucking chokes the cop.
Oh, yeah.
From behind. It's like, Jesus, like, what are we in for, you know? Kinda. Yeah, top, like, 5 favorite movies of all time for me. I love this thing. And it gets better with age. And, like, the like, randomness of it that is, like, a factor. Like, it just, like, becomes more and more apparent every time that it's, like, it all really is just about, like, a flip of the coin. Like, this guy's gonna come at you, and it's, like, a force you reckon with. And, you know, like, Tommy Lee Jones talking about how, fucking, like, in the beginning, when he's saying, like, that kid, he's, like, he was talking to a guy who's on death row about how, like, what does he say? Like, he killed somebody, and then, like, when he was asking him why he did it, he just said he had been thinking about killing someone for, like, as long as he could remember, you know? And it's like, that sets off. He's like, if I had another chance, I would do it every time. You know, he's like, I just can't understand that, basically. And then, like, the movie starts, and, like, the next scene is Anton Chigurh, like, choking out a cop. You know, it's like, oh my God.
Just
crazy.
You know, escape. He could have not killed him, but he definitely, like, you can see just the scuff marks from his shoes. Like, he was choking him out for a while, probably a lot longer than it took. But
yeah,
you know,
no, definitely.
He definitely was with the intent to kill him and make sure that he was dead. It wasn't, you know, just to subdue him. He was on a mission.
Yeah.
But also back to the ending. At the end, when Ed Tom was talking to his wife, it seemed like he had just kind of let Chigurh go. Like, he knew that he could pursue it, but he also knew that if he did that, it would probably mean his death, because he just kind of saw, you know, the destruction that was left in his wake, and he just kind of decided that it was time to retire. You know, he was so close to it, and then he just kind of was like, I think he kind of knew that eventually something would take him out, and it just wasn't going to be him. So he just kind of, like, let the storm blow through, not pursue his own death, essentially, when he's lived such a full life and, you know, was about to, you know, retire. So I feel that he just
he
made the wise choice.
He's sitting around with, like, his other, like, elder copsmen who are, like, retired, and he's like, he makes a decision, like, you know, like everyone else sort of has to, and this is, like, the decision to not keep, like you're saying, keep going and just, like, preserve his fucking life as opposed to, like, touch the void, basically.
Like, he's kind of like the opposite of Llewellyn. In the fact that, you know, Llewellyn is just making brash decisions, like, he can take out anybody, and he's not worried about things, and he doesn't really, he's wise in his actions, but, you know, his planning isn't fully thought out. You know, I guess he kind of figures he's invincible, and he finds out just how uninvincible he is, whereas Tommy Lee Jones's character has the wisdom to be like, I'll just let this guy go. But yeah, that's what I thought about the ending.
Yeah, man. No, Llewellyn is definitely, you know, you have every different type of character in, like, that's presented with a choice, you know what I'm saying? Some characters, like, less than others like have a choice, but they sort of do. You know what I mean? Like the chicken coop guy with his truck probably didn't have a better choice than Llewellyn did, but you know, it's still the same sort of like randomness idea.
That's another thing too. Like he would just be sitting on the side of the road and somebody stopped to help him. You know, it's like they went to do the right thing.
When that guy pulls up and he just has his fucking arms crossed and he's like standing outside his truck, like fucking finally you like got here, so now I can like move on.
Yeah.
It's just like, god damn, like that's so vicious, and what a crazy mindset.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like say in the movie are like, oh, he's a crazy son of a bitch or he's insane. I don't think he's either of those things. I just think he's so like on a different level intellectually as far as, you know, the way that he's wired. He's genius, but in different ways that, you know, other people don't, you know, particularly use all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Is Amanda asleep?
No.
I haven't heard from you in like 15 minutes.
Sorry.
That's all right. What did you think of the ending?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it like a shock that, like, you know, like people like Llewellyn died, or how did you think it was gonna go versus like how it did, or?
I don't know. I feel like it was a very, like, I don't want to use the word typical in a negative way, but it's, like, typical for the Coen brothers and for, like, certain movies of the caliber, of, like, this caliber, rather, not to really give the audience members, like, total satisfaction. Like, they're just gonna, like, throw something at you, and you just have to kind of, like, accept it. And that's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. With, like, this movie especially, because, like, you know, the contrast of, like, him just, like, getting gunned down at a pool by, like, not by Anton Chigurh, but then, like, you know, you get to experience
and
part
off
of the movie.
camera, too.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, the fact that it happens off camera is just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the most, like, brutal cut scene ever.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, it's there purposefully because it's like he slipped up, you know what I'm saying?
You're not like, you don't know.
He quote unquote
like
blacked out. Yeah, well, yeah, when that person's in the swimming pool, I'm like, oh, Llewellyn's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't think that was him, but I'm like, he didn't make it out of this alive.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, they quickly, like, introduce the gang members, and then you're like, oh shit, like, these guys are about to fucking go do this thing. But yeah, this movie, like, in particular, though, with, like, that contrast I was saying, like, you know, when you, as, like, a viewer, get to, now you have to deal with that guy just being dead, you know what I mean? Like, your main character, or, like, you know, I guess arguable main character, but, you know,
I
went into it the underdog. What'd you say?
Yeah, like, I went into it thinking that he was the main character the way that it was framed in the beginning. But it almost kind of seems like the main character is Chigurh.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. As much
Yeah.
as it is Tommy Lee Jones also, you know what I'm saying? They're kind of all, but yeah, I'd say Chigurh, like, equally, kind of, because they're all, like, it's all their story arc, you know what I'm saying, individually, like, all happening at the same time, but it's affirming for them all in different ways. Like, it's, you know, his decision to retire was easier, like, more crazy at the very end, but easier, you know, and then, like, Llewellyn fucking decided to take the money, so now, whatever, and then, like, whatever Chigurh decided to do a long time ago, like, whatever deal with the devil he made. But yeah, man, this movie's fucking cool.
It was good, and I liked it.
Who would you recast?
I would recast Carla Jean's mother. The mother
with Sally Fields.
No, I would not. I would recast her with Estelle Getty.
Who?
I
know the name.
Don't Stop Her, Stop Her, My Mom Will Shoot, and her name is Sophia on The Golden Girls, the Dorothy's mom.
I don't know, man.
I don't either.
Whatever.
I know the name, but word. That's cool. At least you have one prepared because I kind of don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I tried to think about it earlier, but then I just stopped.
I mean, the unfortunate obvious one would have to be Carla Jean.
Really?
Yeah.
Or her mom. Well, yeah, because I'm saying I just think Brolin and maybe I would recast Woody Harrelson, but I can't touch the main three, and there realistically is 7 fucking people in this movie.
Yeah, there's not. It doesn't have a whole lot.
So that's why I'm saying
choose from.
I don't think Carla Jean was bad at all. I actually really like that performance. Just kind of whatever, down home, but my man's been through some trouble in the past, and she kind of so she's I'll just hunker down and whatever. I'll do whatever he's saying, kind of thing. She played that really well, but I don't know who else I would recast but her, I guess is what I'm saying.
I would recast Woody Harrelson.
Word, with who?
I'm thinking about it.
Matthew McConaughey.
I just wish somehow Woody Harrelson was in this movie more.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that he showed up, and he's pretty much a badass, and then Chigurh shows up and shows him how little of a badass
he gets Chigurhed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of wish the story would have gone a little differently in the sense of Woody Harrelson could have been fucking Tommy Lee Jones' partner instead of that other guy, where you had that guy on screen more, and then the random Woody Harrelson character who's only in the movie 3 times could have just been somebody else, you know what I mean? But that would have been really fun to see Tommy Lee Jones, and maybe the story is that he's about to retire, so this guy and him have been working together for a month or something because he's showing him the ropes or whatever. Not that Woody Harrelson's young enough to play that kind of guy, but showing him the ropes as opposed to being a cop. Now you get to run the whole town. That would have been a cool angle. But then again, the story's so simple and perfect and finite and cutthroat anyway that it would be cool, but it also wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It would it would be easily bloated, I feel like.
Yeah, and it did not feel like a 2-hour movie, I thought.
Fuck no, dude. I mean, I was an hour into the movie, and I was I hadn't.
Yeah.
And I've said, I've seen this a ton of times. It's so engrossing. I'm trying to think of who I guess I'll just say I'll recast Carla Jean, but I don't know with who. Have you thought of anyone yet, Amanda?
No, I haven't. Skeet.
Skeet.
Hey. What about this is hard.
It is.
It is. I don't know why we do this to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's okay. I don't know either.
Catherine Hahn is coming to mind, but it's really only because she sort of already looks like that woman. There's no real reason there that I'm actually choosing her. I don't know. This one kind of maybe gets a pass because it's sort of is fucking almost perfectly cast. Any other thoughts?
So this week I watched No Country for Old Men. The week before I watched Planet Terror. The week before I watched Goonies. Hashtag
Let me find. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that rules,
yeah.
dude. Now you gotta watch Jonah Hex.
I have
W and Inherent Vice.
Well, I'm gonna do.
Wait, isn't he in the Old Boy remake?
Okay, Inherent Vice is actually a good movie, so yeah, you have to watch Old Boy remake. You should do 3 good, 3 bad.
I'll just keep watching them. Hashtag rolling with Brolin.
You do whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
But
you hear that, world? I can do what I want to do.
Inherent Vice is on the table for me soon because it's sort of a beachy summery movie at times. And I'd like to watch that at some point this summer. Just a heads up.
Right.
If you want to maybe look out for a copy, Dave, or I can just lend you mine or whatever.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of Filmspeak. If you like what you've been hearing, make sure you check us out on social media. We are on Instagram at Filmspeak, Twitter at FilmspeakPod. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on SoundCloud, and we're on iTunes. Yeah, but anyway.
And soon to be sponsored by Tiger Balm.
Please sponsor us.
It doesn't have to be Tiger Balm. Whoever, just sponsor.
Polar.
Any sort of seltzer.
Go O's and go listen to the new Kendrick Lamar, everyone.
Yeah, for real. Do that.